feel like ecstasy can't spiral, that's alright. Cause we got nothing to lose. That's the way we choose. In this world of desperation, it's time to clean up. Let's start a new year. Oh yeah, let's clean up. Let's start a new year. Oh yeah, let's clean up. Let's start a new year. Oh yeah, let's clean up. Let's start a new year. Oh yeah, we're like a thousand lions running down the field, reaching the heart of darkness, fireballs in our hands. Cause we've got no time to lose. That's the way we choose. In this world of desperation, it's time to clean up. Let's start a new year. Oh yeah, let's clean up. Let's start a new year. Oh yeah, let's clean up. Let's start a new year. Oh yeah, let's clean up. Let's start a new year. Oh yeah,
Hi, everyone, and good evening. Welcome here on another episode of IHR Body Live. And my name is Karen Tevany. And again, we have a very special guest tonight. And I'm sure you've all seen him on previous episodes where we discuss about things not really related to any work, but just, being a virtual assistant and what is it like in a day of a virtual assistant. But now he's going to be with us to discuss professionally what he really do here at iChar Body. And of course, before that, I wanted to invite everyone to watch. If you have friends as virtual assistants also, invite them to this group so that, encourage them to learn more, to at least gain new skills. What else, like, because what we do here every time that we do live is basically we want to share our knowledge. We want to get to know more about the virtual assistants we have. And if you are a virtual assistant and you want to share something, you can just comment it in the comment section. And of course, at the same time, if you have any suggestions, feel free to relay it to us. So our topic for tonight is actually something that's very important when you are creating like an outsourcing business. Now the question is why? It's because when your business is outsourcing virtual assistants and you deploy them on their clients, it's very important that they are well trained. Number one, number two, that they're really skilled and that they know how to work on their tasks, because of course you are deploying them to different clients, and at the same time, when they work there, it's the company's name who's at stake. So you have to make sure that they are well prepared, before you put them into the fire. So the reason why I'm telling this, it's because our guest for tonight is a trainer, a social media trainer, virtual assistant trainer, meaning before we hand over the virtual assistants to their respective clients, he trains them in many, many ways. And of course, besides training them, he makes sure, or he made sure that these virtual assistants are all set to go and are ready to work. So let's all welcome Aaron. Hi, Aaron.
Hey there, Miss Celine. Glad to be here again. Hey, everyone that's watching. I hope everyone is having a good evening.
I'm Karen.
Oh, sorry, Miss Karen. Yeah, sorry, my mind is a bit preoccupied. Busy day, as you guys know.
Aaron, na?
Yes.
because Aaron is training a lot of people. He messed up. He gets to messed up with names because, of course,
Mm,
I can imagine Aaron. Like when you train people, you have to remember their names, right?
yes, definitely.
It's hard to train, and then you don't know the people. Like, how do you call them? So yeah, I do understand. You have a lot of names in your mind, but that's fine. I'm happy that you thought I'm Celine. Hi, Celine.
Sorry.
Also, to, of course, the digital marketing team. Wow, Aaron. When we started this video, I got like 6 views, 7 watchers, 8. Now we're at 16. Wow,
Oh,
you're
really?
what? You're coach. Oh, someone here says hello, Miss Karen and Coach Aaron. Okay, of course, to Hannah and to Miko, to all the digital marketing, Daniel, because they always ask for a shout out, and I always forget. So now I do. Munya, Jello, Anne, Clark, Josiah, Russell. Yeah. So hello, and they're all actually excited to have you as guests. Maybe you're
Mm.
very entertaining.
Maybe, miss.
By the way, to be a trainer, you have to be entertaining because if not, like
Hmm.
if you are a boring person, I won't listen to you. I would just get sleepy.
True.
Especially the time that Aaron is training is around 9 o'clock. It's like the night shift.
Hmm.
So it's really it would be really great if if you're a trainer and you train at night, you know how to make everything really entertaining, engaging, and
Hmm.
lively. Okay, so
Hmm.
much for that. So Aaron, what exactly do you do as a trainer?
Okay. All right. So thank you for that again, Miss Karen. Again, I apologize for mixing up your name. But yeah, so as a trainer, of course, working here at Aisha Buddy, it is my job and my responsibility to make sure that all of the trainees or all the people that go to us to work as a virtual assistant are all set, ready to go, and have the knowledge of what being a virtual assistant or the essence of being a virtual assistant truly is. Okay. But of course, as you know, for me as a personal touch, I'd like them and love them to go a bit. A bit further beyond, not just being a virtual assistant, but also try to instill with them what it means to become, an executive assistant. Because of course, when we say executive assistant, that's a bit more high class, right? So that's what I want them to strive for, and that's what I always try to instill with them every single time that we have trainings and such. But yeah, that's pretty much my job and my responsibility in a nutshell, Miss Karen.
Okay, so talking about being a trainer, training, and getting to know your virtual assistant before you train them, how do you make sure that they listen to you despite of the sleepy hour and a long training hours? Because how long do you train them?
I train them for the whole shift, so basically 8 hours. I train them for 8 hours,
Wow,
basically.
so it's like you talk for 8 hours, right?
Yeah, for the most part, yeah, I talk for like 8 hours straight. So it's definitely tiresome. It's hard on the throat, but it's something that I found to enjoy.
Okay, so okay, question on I have a question like the way you train. What do you think is the key factor that you should remember or you should have when training to make sure that these virtual assistants are listening the whole time?
Okay, all right. So that's a good question, Miss Karen. So one thing that one tip that I can give when it comes to training virtual assistants is, or in order for you to, of course, get their attention, is to keep engagement. All right. So make sure to engage with your virtual assistants, as much as you can. You don't want to just talk about the topic and then just you be the spotlight the whole time, okay? Because of course, that's gonna be boring for a lot of people, and for the most part, people are just gonna doze off, especially in a night shift like this, right?
Right.
So what I like to do is I like to ask them their insights, their opinions, have them read the presentation, stuff like that. Simple things to get them to get their attention, and of course to keep them active throughout the night. Okay, because keeping engaged with them is very important, because I was in their shoes as well, so I know how it feels to have to listen to someone for just 8 hours straight and not have any kind of engagement at all. But yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to training, How do you start it? Like, of course, okay, here's the thing. When you train them at the beginning, you don't know them. You don't know their names, right? They don't
Mhm.
know you. And some of them would like, okay, hi, I'm like this. And I'm sure that at the beginning of the training, you would say, okay, please introduce yourselves, right?
Mhm.
And then after introducing themselves, how do you start it? How do you start the training right?
Okay, so how do I start the training, right? So, of course, when it comes to the whole introduction thing, I always choose to go first. Okay, so that's an important thing because a lot of these people, a lot of are the trainees that I've handled. Some of them are, or at least most of them are very shy. They don't want to start the introductions because, of course, these are a bunch of strangers. They have no idea who these people are, so it's kind of difficult for them to open up. So what I personally do, is I like to be transparent with them, be honest with them about who I am, talk about some of my hobbies. Basically, I like to set the stage for them for their introductions. Now, after they've done their introductions and such, what I personally like to do is I like to take notes, right? So. Throughout the rest of the first day, this is just the first day. So I'm always going to bring up topics that relate to them. Maybe they said that, oh, they like cars, or okay, so I'm going to bring up the topic of cars later in the training so that I can get that specific person's attention. Maybe this person likes to watch movies, right? So what I do is I talk about movies so that I can get the attention of that person. It's all about I like to add a bit of something psychological to it just so that I can get people's attention more.
Okay, that's great to hear. So, how important is having a training as a VA?
So, especially, it's important to have training as a virtual assistant because a lot of people seem to think that it's something's being a virtual assistant is a very simple task. You just do data entry, calendar management, stuff like that. But then when they're in the spot, all of a sudden they feel overwhelmed. They have no idea what to do. They have no idea how to do things properly. So if that's the case, then they need to go through training first so that they won't run into problems in the future. So training is important so that in the near future, of course, once they're finally endorsed to the client, they could be more efficient when it comes to doing their jobs and tasks right.
Okay. So, okay. So you train virtual assistants. What if you would rank the skills that they should have, or they should improve when it comes to your training? What are those? Name five, and then one is the highest. So name it from the highest to the lowest.
All right. Thank you for that, Miss Karen. So that's definitely, honestly, that's a question I'm not prepared for, but I do have a list of things that I look for when it comes to virtual assistants. And, ranking it from the highest, number one, it's taking initiative. That's something that I always look for. Taking initiative, whether it be something as simple as asking questions, or, doing something that I didn't tell them to do. That's taking initiative, and that for me is something that a virtual assistant should always have, especially if they're striving to be very successful. The second one is, of course, being resourceful. All right, so
Mhm.
being or working from home, we have access to the internet. It's literally in the palm of our hands. We can search solutions real quick by just typing something on the internet. And because of that, we have no excuses to be resourceful. But that's the second thing that I always try to look for. The third trait that I look for in a virtual assistant is, of course, being. Hello, Miss Karen, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm just focusing the spotlight on.
Oh, okay. All right, that's something happened. All right. So yeah, so the third quality that I'm looking for in a virtual assistant is, of course, courtesy and professionalism. Because yes, we are working from home, but that doesn't mean that we should be lax, or we should treat others with less respect. Right. So if that's the case, then we should always look to treat each other with respect, always try to show proper demeanor, and of course, just so that we can have that level of respect for everyone. The fourth one that the fourth trait that I look for in a virtual assistant is someone that can be reliable. Now, this is something that a lot of people, tend to overlook. Being reliable. What does that necessarily mean? Something as simple as being responsible. So if I delegate a task to this virtual assistant, I want to make sure, or I want them to finish it on time or even beyond that time. I want them to be reliable. I want them to be responsible when it comes to their work. And finally, the last thing that I look for in a virtual assistant, but it's definitely something that I never forget or never want to overlook, is having the right attitude or having the right mindset, basically, to become a virtual assistant. And what I mean by that is, of course, since we're working remotely, a lot of factors come into play. But the fact of the matter is, we still, as much as possible, we still want to try and be happy, joyous, and having that right mindset is definitely another thing that I look for in a virtual assistant. Being able to smile throughout a night shift for anything. All right, so yeah, that's my top 5.
Okay, so I know that sometimes, not sometimes, but in reality, life is never perfect.
Mhm.
So, how do you handle trainings where you have VAs who fell asleep, who who actually find it boring and just want to stop everything of this? So, like these virtual assistants are this people who really doesn't have the energy to listen. How do you handle those things?
Okay. All right. So it's definitely honest. I mean, I'll be honest. When I first started this, my role as a virtual assistant trainer, it was very difficult because I'm a very dull and boring person to be in real life, or at least before I became a trainer. When I first started training people, I would observe my trainees, and they would show that they're bored or they're slowly falling asleep and such. So what I learned I learned on how I can deal with that is, like I said earlier, that, engaging with them, engaging with subjects that they like, and relating that to being a virtual assistant. So, whether some of their hobbies include stuff like sports, then I always try to, talk about or give some jokes about sports so that I could liven things up. Right. So, engaging with them is a very important thing, especially if you are working in a night shift. Everyone is tired, everyone is asleep, or not everyone is asleep, but everyone is wanting to go to sleep. So I just do my best to try and make things a lot more enjoyable for them. That's one of my main goals, to be honest, as a trainer. I want to make things as enjoyable for them and as engaging for them, so that they can focus and learn, from us, from here at IHR Buddy.
Thank you so much for that, Aaron. And I'm sure that every one of us learned a lot and discovered new things on being a virtual assistant and how training really goes on virtual assistants. So thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Miss Karen. I'm glad to be here. Thank you, everyone that
Yes.
watched
Can
this
you see more of
webinar.
Aaron? Because we'll discuss a lot of things, especially in training. Because I think this is also one of the foundation when you have an outsourcing business. You're responsible for the
Mhm.
VAs that you put out to your clients. So make sure that you train them well and train them right. Okay, thank
Yes.
you so much, Aaron.
Thank you, Miss Karen. See you guys.
Thank you so much, everyone who's watching. Thank you for the viewers. It's been growing since we started, and we have a new time slot for those of you who's not aware. We are Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 o'clock p.m. and 10 a.m. EST time. So before at 9, we moved it to 10, so that for those of you who has a shift at 9 o'clock, you can still have time to, set up and just, drink your coffee and yeah, turn on your Facebook Live. So thank you again, and I hope to see you on Thursday. We have another special guest, so stick around. My name is Karen Tavani, and you're watching IHR Buddy Live. My name is Karen.
This is Hannah. I'm Adrian.
If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Ken Collier.
Right now, our topic. Right now, what we're going to talk about, and we're here for another topic. Right now, our topic is finding
the best of the best virtual assistant.
As a business owner, we're so busy growing our company. We're building, where we don't even get a chance to step away to kind of look at our business from the outside, looking in to see where we really need to fix.
We want you to hire the best. We just don't want you to just pick up someone just because you need help. Because at the end of the day, you will also do the end of the bargain.
It is very important to check out the competition. I know that you should always focus on your customers and not on your rivals, but you should also always check out the competition.
Even though you have an amazing content, if you don't engage with them, your following will really not grow.
Certain factor comes in is that you seek not just followers. Since you're engaging, you build relationships.
No matter how great you are at processing, no matter how great you are at structuring your company, you could be the best dispute person, have the best credit repair letters in the world, right? But if you can't get clients in, it don't mean anything, right?
When you have someone helping you around, you just finish things on time. You save time and you save effort.